I just wanted to say something about today when I went to the post office. That story about this guy, Ken Peters, he was an old time prophet from the 80s. He was speaking about what's happening today. And what I believe is about to happen the polar shift, the earthquake that's going to happen. I think that's at hand right now. When I was at the post office, they wouldn't even let me open up a post office box. And, I tried to do the general delivery. I've done it before in Alabama, because when I was working for a company out of Kansas, they owed me from a week prior, and they mailed the check to me in Mobile, Alabama. And I didn't have any problems whatsoever. And this was, I'm going to say, 2 months ago. And all of a sudden, now they're saying they want, passports. And then if you look at what Ken Peters, a prophet from the early 80s, he said he was a Catholic pastor. And he said he never read, like, the Christian Bible or anything, and never knew nothing about it. But the vision that he was shown, he said it took him about 2 weeks to convert over. He said the things that he was saying, about, like, after this polar shift, he mentions, there's going to be a rapture where the people just disappear. There's going to be total chaos and a lot of trouble going on. And with the visions I've been having, we're getting ready to leave. I know it. That's what my visions have been telling me. And everything I've heard on that guy, Ken Peters, he passed away about in 2005, I think. He passed away in California. That's where he's from. But there's no doubt in my mind he's going to be with the Lord. He was he was definitely prophesizing where we're at today, right now. He was talking about everything that people have in their homes today. But he said after the rapture, it was a total chaos. People were ecstatic, but that's when the Antichrist is going to reveal himself after the rapture. And he's going to, restore law and order. But he said also that people were not allowed to travel from one state to the next state without proper paperwork. And when I was at that post office, they were pushing like a passport, getting a passport, showing a place of residency where I'm from. And I'm like, I've never heard of such a thing, especially when you're from America. And it sounds to me like they're pushing for this world order where everybody's going to have a passport instead of, because my driver's license wasn't being looked at like it was good enough. My Social Security card wasn't good enough. They're changing. Look at all these immigrants we got coming over here with their ID. They didn't have any problems. Seems like we have more problems being from America with what we have from our own country. Not that I'm starting to start anything, okay? I'm just saying. A lot of these immigrants, boy, they don't even know. They rushed into a bad thing. The devil's after souls. And, I had them when they were buying out all my equipment from my shop. I warned the guy. I told him, I said, this is evil at hand. Guy couldn't speak any English, but I showed him some photos, some recordings that I had on the TV where I paused and got photos of stuff. Girl with slits in her eyes and where she spits her tongue out, demonic. And I told him, I said, these are evil times, man. And I said, you got family? And he's like shaking his head, yeah. I said, get your family close to you, man. And I knew he understood with everything that I showed him. Plus, I showed him that trumpet above my head being blown by an angel. So I knew he knew, because I had a lot of stuff still in my shop. I was getting ready to leave, and I was trying to get him to take it. He didn't even want it. He was ready to get out of there. I could tell he got my message loud and clear, even though he didn't speak any English at all. This was in Florida, and I've been trying to warn people, what's going on. For quite a while, several years I've been doing it. I mean, I've had a lot of stuff coming up against me. And it's hard for people to understand this when I'm saying this because, not everybody is going to be a targeted individual. And they're targeting me real heavy because of that angel blowing a trumpet above my head. You can be sure that the demonic demons know probably who that spirit was or is above my head. And another thing you got to remember, I was like 17 years old in that photo. I'm 55 now. To them, that was probably a few moments ago. You know what I mean? Because you got to remember, 2,000 years. One day is as if 1,000 years to the Lord. One day is like 1,000 years. So, when you go back, say, almost 40 years since I took that photo, almost 40 years, you see what I'm saying? That wasn't long ago to them. My shoulder, my left shoulder, they stuck something. This one guy, he had a Muslim wife. I was doing a nighttime job. And through that one company that called me about cleaning windows, I was doing a nighttime job, and then this guy that was security of the whole building, who was from another country someplace, but he just kept walking by in front where I was at. I'm like, man, that guy's like, I felt like he was waiting on me, to come out. And after I finished the job, sure enough, man, there he was right there to stop me, to talk to me. And I talked to him, being friendly, and I showed him the photos that I had, the angel blowing the trumpet and everything. He told me what country he comes from, how difficult it was there, how hard it was there. And I'm thinking, well, hey, you're in America now, And, but anyhow, I could tell he was working with the Muslims because he told me after he reached around my neck to say, like a gesture, like, like a friendship gesture to give a hug. Well, I think that's when he stuck me in the neck with something. And I had like an open hole back there where he did it, and it didn't heal for like, I'm going to say, I thought maybe I got bit by a spider or something. And it wouldn't heal for about a week. Just kind of stayed open and raw. But my shoulders started bothering me, man. For a while, it felt like, my tendons were cut back here. But, I mean, it's better now. I can move it now. But it's still, gets a little stiff and sore still. And that was over a year ago. But anyhow, right after he did that, he goes, oh, and my wife is a Muslim. In other words, that was his reason for doing it. Because I spoke against the Muslim faith. I told them, they're worshiping the devil. And there's a lot of it out there. I've been saying that for a long time. The same thing about superstition. Those are more things that the devil started, But anyhow, like that guy Ken Peters, man. Check it out. That guy that was prophesizing. I'm still in the half of what he was doing, but like at the post office today when they were telling me passport, I'm like, I can't believe she's even saying this to me, and I just want to open up a post office box, and before in Mobile, I've had a general delivery once there before. I never did it a lot, but I've done it before at a post office when I worked out of Kansas. A company owed me for a week's pay. I was painting these big storage houses out there. And I didn't have any problems at all. Went in there, they took my name, stuck it on the back of a thing, and when the mail came in, it was there. And then here, how the things that they were pushing, man, how difficult it is. Things are changing, man. Get ready for what's about to happen. This message is more so for those that are going to be left behind. You watch that Ken Peters video, and you're going to see we're about ready to go. And there's a lot of people out there that'll sit there and go, you're just imagining, you're letting things get to you. Let me tell you something. When I hear people say that to me, I know you got a demon in you. And I know you're blind. You know what I mean? Because when you're not on the same program that I'm on, and I got an angel blowing a trumpet above my head, when you're not on my program, what I'm seeing and what I know what's going on in this nation, I ain't delusional about nothing. But when I hear people say it to me, it tells me they got a demon in them. Just like those people that say you should enjoy that perverted thinking. When you're dreaming, they said, oh, you should enjoy that. It's sick. I know what's going on in America today, man. They had satanic rituals on our United States courthouse and stuff like that. They raised a statue to the devil, man, in Detroit. They took prayer out of our schools, took Jesus Christ. It's an antichrist nation. So when I hear people speaking that garbage to me, all they do is they let me know exactly who they are. I know exactly who they are when they are against what I'm seeing, when I know what's coming. And there's a lot of deception going on here in America. That's why I made a video called Mimicking, because a lot of you guys, you hear that stuff out there where people saying, oh, you're not talking what you're talking about. Oh, it's just normal weather. They're used to telling people what they want to hear for such a long time that people still sit there and listen to it. That's why I say it's going to be hell on earth here real soon. But not for us that are aware and that are seeing what's going on. But there's a lot of people that don't see it. They believe what they're told. And I'm the last person you want to sit there and say that to, because my eyes are open. And when I hear people say it to me, I know who you are. That's just that simple. I had my old wrestling coach, George Steele the Animal from Big Time Wrestling, sent me a Facebook request from Facebook, friendship request. He lives in Florida, but his brother's the one that tried to get me to work at Tampa Bay Stadium in Florida, Tampa Bay. Offered me $60,000 a year, and I told him, I said, the games are over, man. I could have been working, living pretty good, $60,000 a year, but I know what's coming, man. And you look at what they're having at these football stadiums and stuff, man. They're having demonic halftime parades, demonic, evil, And I get a job offering for that place, $60,000 a year. No, thank you. I'll pass on that. And it just happens to be the 50th Super Bowl. Let me tell you something. When they started that thing, I was 5 years old when they came out with their first Super Bowl. I was 5. This is the 5th generation we're at right now. The 50th Super Bowl, that gives you what? The same amount of yardage on each side, right? And what does Jesus say? I'm going to put one on my right hand and one on the left side. One's going to the paradise and the other's going to hell. This is it, people. You better wake up. I don't know how else to tell you. I mean, I'm not used to tickling people's ears, but I like to say it like it is. And, I quote things that are in the Bible, but I prefer people to get it out and read it themselves, like I've done. I've read it, it's all in there, man. Revelations, man. That's where we're at today. I like Matthew's, too. Matthew's 24:25 speaks about the 5 wise and the 5 foolish virgins. Now, remember, they're still called foolish brides. So that doesn't mean it's hopeless for them that are left behind. They could still go because they're still called brides, the foolish brides. Just remember that, man. And those that are left behind, don't fall for that chip, that mark, man, because then it's hopeless. You won't be able to go. And don't fear death because, once they kill you, you're going to be with the Lord, man. And there's a reward waiting for you. And it'll only happen once and it'll be over with. But that's why they're called the foolish brides, because they were really into the world. And see, that's what people are constantly trying to deceive you, tell you what you want to hear all the way to the end. They're leading you to the slaughter is what they're doing. Sadly, many people are following it. You know, like the Pad Piper, you know, leads the mice to the slaughter. There's that woman, Anna Marie Slaughter. She's the head of the women's movement. She's got a book, it's not finished. It's just getting ready to come out. It's called Unfinished Business. Her name's Slaughter. She's leading you to the slaughter. You read the Holy Bible. Women aren't supposed to be doing what they're doing today. But neither are men. You know, that's why the Lord's coming back here to clean this mess up. You know, the devil did it. He pushed it a little bit at a time until it's so twisted people don't even know how they got here anymore. People ask me, if you know how to straighten it out, I said, yeah, I do. But, you know, ain't nobody going to listen to me. They haven't yet anyhow, you know, and that's why I'm right here in my truck. I didn't want to take the job at the stadium because I know what's getting ready to happen, man. There's a lot of people out there suffering, and I'm not going to sit there playing work like that, making that kind of money while people are going through afflictions here. I picked up my cross to follow the Lord, and he says, more blessed for that person when he comes back and sees he's still doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you're into the world, boy, you're going to be in a lot of trouble, you know. Unfortunately, that's what a lot of people are. They love to have their ears tickled. Whether it's getting a bid to get something work done or something, people love to be told what they like to hear. And you got a lot of good liars out there today, man, because they've been doing it a long time. These people have been doing shit work for such a long time. Even after 7 years, people go, well, pay jobs don't even last. They'll tell you what you want to hear. And they'll convince you, and you go, oh, okay. And then a year later, you're like, I'll never hire them. Then you hire another person that'll tell you what you want to hear. But you see, when you tell people the truth, when you literally tell people the truth, they don't believe it. That's why I'm where I am today. You know, when you watch a lot of those movies about Jesus Christ, he always says, I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. And nobody believed him then either, you know. These are the days we're in today, you know. They don't believe the truth today either. God bless, man. Just remember, man, it's all about our Lord Jesus Christ. This is the end. Don't look for people to tickle your ear. Look for the truth. And then, you know what they say, the truth will set you free. You know. We're out of here. Watch that Ken Peters, man. I'm telling you, man, he's right on. He's right on about everything he's talking about. We're out of here, man. It's not much time. I'll be glad to get out of here myself. I've had enough of this. For me, this has been going on for quite a while. I've noticed it happening since the Twin Towers went down in 2001. But like I said, I'm a Gemini. The Twin Towers, Gemini's a twin. 5th generation. I was born in May. I'm 55. Yeah, I'm a mother's 5th child. You know, I know I've got holy angels around me too, man, but like I said, people got their mixed up things. They think, oh, well, if the Lord's around you, why aren't you living in a mansion? Because I'm not one to follow Joel Osteen's tickle your ear theory. People have had their ears tickled so long and they just kept living bigger, bigger, bigger while everybody else was suffering and suffering and suffering. That's when, you know, it got wicked. That's why we're where we are today. Because people believed they were blessed by all this abundance of wealth. And it just kept getting worse. Look at all these doctors and dentists, how high they're living above everybody. You know, it's ridiculous, the cost of everything. Just get ready, man. You know, we've arrived. Everything that's written in the Holy Bible, we're here, okay? But just get ready, man, because we're here. It's going to be any time. March is going to be a magical month, man. I know it is, and it's going to get. Listen, watch that Ken Peters. I'm telling you, nobody's going to be able to travel across border lines here once the polar shift happens and a great earthquake, because there's going to be a lot of devastation everywhere too, man. But the rapture is going to happen too. So we'll be taken, we'll be spared what's about to come upon the whole earth. Peace.